Yo, testing. 1, 2. We back. Another great episode. Yo, listen, I'll tell you this. We got good reviews on the last episode, man. I love what we're doing here. Welcome back. You already know. I don't know what episode is this.
6.
The sixth one. If I was you, I would listen with Josh, Shawn, and you already know it was me, Zeem, man. Welcome back, man. What you boys been up to?
Zeem, you be at every party.
I know. I've been trying to slow down, man.
This guy
who ain't gonna like to hear that?
Yeah, crazy. Yo, my DMs went crazy with I did that hookah smoke through one nostril. The funny thing about that was my right nostril was really stuffy. Like I couldn't blow it out.
You did that on purpose or you just...
Nah, I was trying to do it both nostrils.
You blowing hookah smoke out of one nostril.
It just came out of one. I thought that's the cool thing to do, man. But when Josh made that joke a couple years ago, like
it stuck with you.
It just stuck with me. Now it's just like I make it a point that I'm gonna do my hookah smoke Instagram snap story video just for you. You know what I mean?
Yo, that's like the second or third time that you said like I made a joke, and then like a couple years down the line you said, I thought about what you said a lot.
Yeah, man. I don't know why I take what you say personally, but I really do. Like maybe you're like my internal life coach, man.
Oh my God.
But yo, listen, I've been out here, man. I wish you boys be out here with me.
But hold on, you said August 1st. Is that still
August
a thing?
1st, I'm out here. Well, not August 1st, the week after.
But the first week of August.
And where we going again?
Ooh.
What? You changing it up now?
Nah, we still going there.
Where we going?
We're going to Silhouettes.
Right.
Silhouettes.
Yo, shout out Silhouettes, man.
Because
I'm holding you to it. I already got my permission slip signed for it and everything.
So, year ago.
I'm going to go. I got
sure?
500 ones. After Magic, yo, listen. I went to Magic City, yo. I finally made it to Magic City Monday. Shout out to all my AT aliens out there. Can we talk about Magic City real quick?
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about Magic City.
Tell us about Magic City.
Listen, when
you... what you can...
yeah, exactly. Yeah. What I could say on camera. Listen. First of all, you walk in, just like the movies, there's two big black chocolate M&M looking bouncers that just like, what's up? Where's your ID? Turn around. Take off your hat.
So is their security more thorough than RI security?
Way thorough. Okay. And like you turn around, you don't turn around on your own. They flip you around. They get in every crevice. They in your sock. They
made you feel like a little boy, huh?
Yeah. Oh God, there we go.
They wouldn't do that to Shawn.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do that to Shawn because he's their size.
You go in there. I'm telling you, there was 60. Workers. I'll leave them at workers. Dancers. Dancers, yeah. Professional dancers. And I'm telling you, it was P-Valley times 10. There was at least 20 M-I-S-S-I, S-S-I, S-S-I, P-P-I. I think I spelled Mississippi right.
So Magic City lives up to the hype.
Lives up to the hype. And then not for nothing, you got a stack in your hand, they're on you like shit on flies. Oh, no, flies on shit. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. Now, mind you, you got all the dope boys. So everybody's iced out, chained out. So I'm looking close. I'm
and
trying
these
to
chains are real.
I don't know. They're
not like, no, but I'm saying there's more of a chance of being real. Than
exactly. Glistening, like you see it from across the room. So I'm trying to like, damn, is any celebrities in there? Because you guys know I be on my groupie stuff. Like I'm open and honest. Like I'm a man. When I see celebrities, I'm like, let me take a picture.
You're gonna get a pic. Oh, so let me ask you this real quick.
Yeah.
So I'm watching an interview, ESTG.
Okay.
He says, and let me see what you feel about this. He says, yo, if you with your girl and you see a famous person and you want to get a picture, it's never okay to give your girl the phone to take the picture. Are you doing that, Zeem? Are you telling your girl, take this picture of me and so-and-so?
Yes, I am.
But I don't think that's anything wrong with that.
He tried to flip it on some like, yo, you're with your shorty. How you gonna tell your shorty to stand there, hold the phone, and you're groupied out over and
he's like, yo, your shorty gonna start thinking, damn, I need to be with the dude that you asking me to take the picture of.
But
he flipped it because Josh, you with me though?
He would. I'm with you because He be the same dude at the Rock Nation brunch trying to take a picture with
No, but
Jay-Z
he said
and
no.
Beyonce.
So he said you could take a picture, but he said I'm gonna give it to my man to take the picture. My girl can't be the one to take the
So
picture.
he's basically saying, because he made the analogy, I'm with my girl. If it's cool to me, I feel even more weird asking another man to take a
the
picture
picture.
with
Yeah.
another
So
man.
it's all right for the girls to
you know
take
what I'm
the
saying?
picture.
So if I'm with a
All right.
female, she know this is my favorite rapper. And I can't front. I'm thinking that one time Bryson Tiller came here to the Strand.
Yup.
And it was a swap. So I took a picture of Courtney first of Bryson Tiller, and then I'm like, return the favor. So it didn't come across as like, oh, move out the way. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I played it cool, and Bryson Tiller was cool with it. That's when he was hot.
I would feel it'd be worse if it was the opposite. Like, if you with your girl and she sees a favorite rapper, she's like all groupied out. Can you please take a picture?
Thank you.
But it's funny you
feel
say
worse.
that. So he was like, yeah, if my girl, like, yo, I'm gonna take that picture of her. Like, yo, go get a picture.
yeah,
of
see,
her.
I
Yo,
can't
So
do
just
that.
wanted to get your
He's
perspective
he's
on
a
that.
shut up and dribble. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
you know, I love that. You know, I love that dude. But I seen that same one, but I don't care.
That was on the Breakfast Club, right?
Breakfast Club. So yeah, I'm in Magic City. I end up getting 500 ones, and I'm just like, damn. But I had to do it. It's my first time there, and I enjoyed myself. My 500 was gone. I was tempted to hit the ATM one more time, but I was like, nah, I can't do it. And I'm a slow sprayer. I'm not the one that throws it up in the air. I like to
Taking your time.
take my time, $1 at a time.
Making it
you know what I mean?
stretch,
So make that song stretch.
What would you give the dancers if you're like the Olympic judge? What are you rating the dancers at Magic City?
Ooh, man, out of 10 being the highest, I'm giving them, the average was a good 8.8.
Really?
Like, listen,
All flavors in there.
All flavors in there, and not for nothing, they all work on Monday. So that's their, elite night. You know what I'm saying? So all the elite of the elite was in there. And what I loved, the crowd was just straight mixed. I'm staying there with a dude from Dallas. I met a dude from Arkansas, a couple of ATL people, a couple of kids from Australia. So the crowd is just mixed. You know what I mean? They don't discriminate. And it was a good time. And I ordered Sweet Lou lemon peppers.
How were they?
Amazing. Like, amazing. Maybe because I was intoxicated, inebriated.
So he's justified breaking them bubble rules for them wings.
I get it. You know what I mean? The Clippers wasn't going to win it anyway. So I get it.
That's not what you were saying. Listen, got our first sponsor. Today's
Yup.
episode powered by Seppi Sips. Shout out my man Joe Spider. You know what I'm saying? West End coach, West End legend, man, for coming through, blessing us with these drinks. The drinks are really good. They're smooth. Some for the fellas, some for the ladies. Today's show is powered by Seppi Sips.
Yo, that lets you know we came a long, long way.
Quick.
We getting sponsors. This is amazing, man. Yo, listen, this is good, amazing pre-game drink. Man, I'm going to drink it like it's an info commercial. Watch this.
Good luck.
I wanna be like Zeem.
Yo, shout out, man.
You
Appreciate
too.
it. Appreciate it. So anyway, real quick, I wanted to, I know it's just way out left, but I've been watching the show Manifest, right?
Okay.
And make a long story short, a plane goes missing for 5 years. Everybody on the plane thinks it's just the next day.
Yeah.
But when they land and come back, it's actually 5 years later.
Okay.
Right? So just imagine you have wife, kids, whatever the case may be. You get off the plane. Your wife's with another man. Another man's been raising your daughter for the last, I can't lie, they show how the girl met, the wife met the dude. So I'll say 3 years, you know what I'm saying? During a crucial time of her life, puberty, getting that teenage stage, they need that father figure role. So my question to you, and I only bring this up because it made me think of Lauren London and it made me think of Vanessa Bryant, two strong, beautiful women who lost, significant dudes and impact on this culture. But when is it a good time in any relationship to move on after a death?
I say probably maybe 2-3 weeks.
Yo,
Nah, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
that means it's creeping all along.
Yeah, that's crazy. That means you had your next
No,
thing
but
lined up.
realistically, you're with a chick, God forbid, knock on wood, you know what I mean? You pass away. What would be the normal time where you feel like everyone's gonna be like, not already? She moved on? Like, I know, Doc, keep it real with me.
To be real, man, I think it's just a time thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying like no 2-3 weeks. Like, that's kind of crazy. But
crazy.
However long it take you to mourn, like, you know, maybe a year, maybe 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So it really depends on, like, you know, how you get through a situation.
But I just know, as fans of Kobe Bryant, we see Vanessa Bryant with any other man the whole world's feeling some type of way.
That's tough because she's in the public
Famous,
spotlight. Yeah,
Famous
that's tough.
And
that's
then
tough.
the same thing with Lauren London, especially like you get the portrait tattoo of Nipsey. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's tough to go in that situation. But in your relationship right now, I want you guys to envision, God forbid, once again, I'm not even want to speak on it. You guys is gone. What are you telling wifey? Minimum, because I know I looked at court like, yo, I'm pausing this show. What up? I don't want no dude raising my sons. I don't want no one in this household. You better get some toys. You better go to Amazing Videos or whatever.
Oh my God.
But not to sound cheesy.
Yeah.
Cheesy. Like, obviously, like, nobody never wants to think about their lady or the mother of your children being with somebody else. That's a tough thing to envision. But you know what it's like to be raised by a single parent, and you know how hard it is. So you would want somebody. You want somebody in there that's gonna do a good job. Like, you know, if they care for your kids, doing the right thing, treating them right. You kind of can't hate on that. You know what I'm saying?
You dead, so it don't matter. It don't matter what you really think. It don't matter what you think. I would say like, let's say I had a friend who passed away, and you know, he had a wife and kids, and I see like anything after like maybe like a year or so, you start dating somebody, I'd be like, all right, you know, that makes sense. Like, but anything before that, even though you're like in your mind, you're like, yo, people move on at their own pace. Like, she needs somebody there too. She's probably lonely, and this is maybe the person helping her get over her loneliness. I think anything after a year, I think people in general, for the most part, would be like.
So you guys is confident in saying someone's knocking down Vanessa Bryant and Lauren London right now?
They human, man.
Maybe.
They just like, yo, not for nothing. A dude was saying the other day, not gonna say no names and like that's personal, but he lost his mom at a young age, and it took his father like almost 20 years,
right,
to move on and to do something physical with another woman. So, like, you know,
so it's different time.
It's different time, you know. So it depends. But then Laura London and Vanessa Bryant, they're still young women. You know, they look good. They know they look good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure they got needs too. I'm not gonna say that they're gonna go get a husband, but you know they.
Nah,
and then probably like satisfying themselves.
I gotta snitch to Nipsey and Kobe, man. Like that ain't right, man. I don't know why.
I think it's hard because we love them so much. And the way that they died was just so tragic.
If I love them, I'm assuming their wives should love them too.
Yeah, but
you're that horny, like there's other means, like
so role reversal. Like 2-3 years it happened. God forbid your significant other, gone. How long does it take you to, not saying get into another relationship, but until you start, like, you know, doing what men like to do?
Never. I'm turning into a monk. I just want to say that.
I can't look over there when he said that. Monk.
I love Monk Zeem. Listen,
because it's not fair. Like, we as Kobe and Nipsey Hussle fans, it's not fair for us to be like, how could you? It's like they're human. You know what I'm saying? They're people.
And
like,
Monty Williams, he married already, right?
Yeah.
Whoa,
he's married.
To it after his wife died in the crash.
Yeah,
white
He's
woman
married
too.
Again?
Yeah,
married to a Dub G.
What's a Dub G?
White girl.
Oh shit.
So
no, are you for real?
Serious.
You mourn and
we said that in the chat. We said that in the chat.
I must have been working. I had to put it on silent.
Oh my
wow.
God. It was during.
See, I didn't know that. I swear,
games.
I'm shocked by that.
Yeah. So I mean,
because that happened what 3?
No,
2?
it was longer than that.
Longer?
Yeah.
like when he was in New Orleans.
Yeah, maybe like 7 or 8 years ago, maybe.
Oh,
when yeah.
Damn.
But not for nothing, that probably you talk to somebody and that person's there for you and helping you get over it, and then eventually it turns into something more.
So another big trend in that show. First of all, if you haven't watched that show on Manifest, go to Netflix. It's amazing. It's just a good binge watch. Especially, I'm able to catch up with all the NBA Finals is over, and the USA team is trash. But we'll get into that later.
Oh God.
But now, a lot of trends that's been happening, people who pass away, their significant others end up dating their friends, their relatives, AKA the people that lended a shoulder to cry on. What do you think about that situation? So, for an example, a lady was engaged to the man, fiance. Obviously, he thinking 5 years she's been dead. Obviously, it's just the next day for her. He ends up marrying her best friend.
I mean, I think that it's just a natural human reaction to like, we're like, ooh, like, you kind of like when you first hear it, you're like, oh, but like, say if you know the people, you know the situation, you probably feel differently about it.
That just makes me think like that girl was
like
plotting on her man the whole time.
Say if Derek Fisher would have married Vanessa Bryant instead of like Matt Barnes' wife, then it'd be the kind of like a similar situation. We'd be like, yo, this dude's a scumbag, but maybe because of his closeness and proximity to Vanessa, that's who she feels comfortable with.
Nah, that's not right.
But I think naturally, like, people on the outside looking in is gonna judge. They're gonna be like, how could you, Derek Fisher? Then I don't think Vanessa Bryant may take some heat, but it's like, damn, like maybe the rebound. She sees a lot of Kobe or reminds her of Kobe, so that's the lane she chose to
that's
go.
even sicker to me. That you're looking for attributes and features in a friend of mine.
But why not? Because like, yo, everyone has a type. Like, some people you date are similar to the person you dated in the past.
And then I'm just thinking about the kids. So Uncle Derek Fisher, I know we're just using that for an example, is now stepdaddy Fisher to fill a role.
Right.
I'm not with it, man. Listen, I get it. I don't want to.
The barbershop gonna be with you. I think the beauty shop might be on the like side of like love who you love.
Oh my God! This is why I hate that beauty salon, man.
It's so different.
Speaking on that, I ain't gonna say no name or put nothing on blast, but I'll admit I was out the other day. I seen a female. Now, the last I known of this female, she was dating a good friend of mine's, right? So at that point, I'm like, damn, should I take a picture, send a text message, send a snap or whatever to my homeboy? Like, is that some scum shit? Mind my business? What's the bro code in regards to that?
I'm leaving it up. If it's not, is it his current girl or was it his ex-girl?
No, to my knowledge, it's his current girl.
If that's my bro, like, I talk to you every day, like, we have a friendship, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think I would have that conversation. I'm not taking no pic. I wouldn't do nothing like that.
But I need the evidence.
I will go have the conversation.
Because you know how females do. Females will be like, you're lying. You're hating on my man.
Maybe it's the masculinity in me, but I can't picture myself just like sneaking the pic and just scream. You know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't want to be in the physical.
So if you was in that situation, you wouldn't want no one.
Oh, yeah, definitely. If I'm the one in that situation, you want all the proof, but I'm not going to be the one to go do it. You know what I'm saying?
Josh, keep it real.
Yeah.
I'll just give you a scenario.
Yeah.
Man, I'll use me. I don't want to throw anybody else under the bus like that. You're out on a date.
Yeah.
Court is with me. We got kids together. We got a house together. Whatever the case may be. You see her with a dark chocolate, what you deem to be handsome man. Pause.
6'3".
6'3". 220
waves,
chisel waves,
yep.
Lineups actually intact. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Keep it real.
I'm doing a couple things. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna text you and be like, hey, like, I'm gonna feel around the situation.
Okay.
Because I don't want it to be something where I'm like instigating something where you already knew that she was gonna be out with the dude. So I'm gonna do a little bit of reconnaissance. Then if you're like, oh, I'm with the boys, man, I'm like, oh, where's Courtney? Oh, she's with the girls. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be like, yo, Zeem, I'm about to call you.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna explain the situation.
Okay.
And then I'm never gonna talk about it again.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because that's
what
just
does that
something
mean?
you don't want to be in the middle of. Because at the
Okay.
end of the day, it's a good chance you could go back to the girl. And then I'm doing all of this.
Yeah.
That's gonna cause friction between us. And you went back to your lady. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like how like certain dudes, just people in general, whether it's a girl or a guy, they be so in love and like whipped by the situation, you could like show them in 4K, like their significant other kissing somebody else, and they're gonna be like, no, it's not. Like
Right,
you know, so
And to be out, that happened to me before
Okay.
with a friend that I'm very cool with, close with, and I did my due diligence,
yeah.
and I thought I was doing the right thing, and the girl happened to manipulate it and flip it and twist it, and then when he decided to go back to his lady,
Right.
it caused years of friction between us. Like, luckily, we were able to rebound from that.
Even though your intentions were good, like
It doesn't matter your intentions.
But that's who you love. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you love your friend, but it's a different connection and love with your girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? That's the person you're sleeping with every night, you're intimate with. So, obviously, you're going to listen to them somewhat, or you're going to feel you got to take up for them.
Right.
So, it's like, why would this person be lying to me? And then it's like, it's just my, when you're in love, sometimes
and it's embarrassing too. Don't forget that point.
Yeah.
Like,
All right,
you
how
look
about
weak.
this? We all got that feeling, that intuition, right? So I made eye contact with this female,
Okay, that's different.
and she had that look like
That's different.
See, but I'm saying, so you get the eye contact. They're thinking they're in this sneaky spot. You know what I mean? I just pulled up for a couple of drinks with my sister. Like, she's putting me on or something. And then you get that look like, oh, that's that damn Zeem's in the building look. What do you do then?
Then you gotta play it cool. You don't say anything. You let that person tell on themselves. Because
But how about you're assuming that
not-
a person's gonna tell them themselves? They're not gonna tell
no.
themselves.
9 times out of 10. So like, let's say it's that same situation.
Yep.
I see your girl out with a dude.
Yeah.
If it's no big deal, we make eye contact. Hey Josh, how you doing?
Right.
This is so and so.
Right.
But if she's like, oh, then that starts the clock in her mind of like, yo, I need to do damage control before his friend says something. So then she starts acting all weird, and then you would come to me like, yo, Josh, you seen my girl out or something? Like, yeah. I'm like, what'd she tell you? and then
She told me nothing. She just said she was out with her friends with some drinks with some girls.
And then if I feel inclined to tell you, I'll tell you right there.
Yeah, I think that's the best.
What does that
approach.
mean? If I feel inclined to tell you, what?
I feel like how Doc was talking about a situation. It's almost like this. So like, I put it like this: I had a female friend who got abused by her boyfriend, right? So me and her brother are talking about it, and I'm like, you're not gonna go over there and like fight the dude? Like, yo, I'll like go with you if you're scared. And he's like, bro, I'm not doing it because she's always gonna go right back to him. So I'm not gonna put myself in the middle of it. So if I feel like no matter what I tell you, you're still gonna go back, I'm like, damn, I don't want to be the one.
So basically, you're telling me you're gauging it on the personality of your friend.
I'm gauging it on the personality and how you bring it to me.
I feel like I will always. I feel like I'm always. If you're my friend, I'm gonna always tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like Josh made a really good point. Like, I'm gonna call you just to fill out the situation. It could be a friend like you knew for 10+ years. The dude could be gay. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And it's like you don't want to go overstep. So I would definitely fill it out, but I would definitely kind of like let you know what's going on. But I'm not gonna overindulge, give you like 100 different details and taking pictures. Like,
was on his back.
Yeah. I'm not
They
doing
were
none of that.
like canoodling.
Can I be honest with y'all? I was on some bitch shit. Like, yo, listen, you know it's different when you're at like a table and their knees are touching. The knees says, you know what I'm saying? Once I seen the knees, it was, you know what I'm talking about when I say the knees, right?
You know it wasn't just no friends.
Yeah. So I was just like, damn. So I hit that friend up. I'm gonna tell you, the bitch shit I did, because I just, regardless, because I look at it as this: regardless if it's true, not true, it's misinterpreted, whatever the case may be, cool. Let me deal with your blunder, but I know the intent of my friend was just to protect me. So I don't get that whole friend flipping it, you know what I'm saying, on the friend that just try to do a good deed in the moment. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I was just like, yo, listen. And I said that shit. I said, the knees were touching. We made eye contact. I know the vibes where you made me uncomfortable. You just making besides when you usually see me, it's
like,
hey Zeem, how you doing? This, how's the boys? I love this. I love this. You know what I mean?
You're acting different.
You're acting different.
Read the room. That's the.
I read the room,
and you made the right decision.
and I end up, listen. And before I even did that, I had to take visual evidence. I'm all about. I don't care.
Zeem hiding in the bushes acting like TMZ doing different
Zeem
clicks.
is 7 days, 7 nights.
Hiding under the tables doing clicks. Like, come on.
Because you know me, you thinking I'm snapping anyway or whatever. I was literally like this. Zooming in, boom, boom.
God.
I said the evidence, whatever the case would be.
Hey, man.
Now, come to find out, according to him, and this is why I think he was capping anyway, just to try to not embarrass himself.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we got into an argument. I said I was done. You was done to this. But how he explained it to me, I knew it was more than, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I respect it because he just wants to.
Was the guy she was on a date with, was he a step up? From your friend?
Yeah. Well, look-wise, I don't know financially.
Damn, I hope he ain't listening to this.
Yeah. Okay, yo, listen.
He was more handsome.
It is more handsome. I can't front. You know what I mean? If you got earrings, I'm already gonna support you.
Oh my God.
Because I got earrings.
Oh
but
my God.
nah, it was bad, and I had to. But then that's why I was just like, yo. Was I on some sucker-ish? I mind my business, whatever the case. Because at the end of the day, keep it real, someone could do that to me. Especially in the line of work when I'm promoting, whatever. I could just be trying
talking
to a chick, and
look
somebody
at
can
Zeem.
interpret that. And I think that's why I get a lot of turmoil in that whole promoter lifestyle. But it was just the eye contact, and you made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing. So I just had to bring that up and make sure I wasn't on some sucker-ish. I really was, because at the end of the day, I want someone to do that for me. Don't worry about the repercussions of it. If we're cool, we're cool. We're locked in, and I know your intentions. You know what I'm saying? That's how I personally view it. So when I presented, I needed the evidence because I didn't want to be on no sucker-ish like, oh, well, she just said that was whatever.
Well, you can't. I mean, if you feel like you're doing the right thing and it's a good intention, you could never be a sucker for that.
Right,
but like Josh was saying, some dudes get embarrassed and their way of basically telling like, damn, that's messed up that she did that.
Right.
They get mad at you for knowing that you know now.
Right.
And
The
it becomes
fact that
a
I
bigger
even walked
issue.
into the joint and seen it.
But but let me ask you this though.
Yeah.
So do you guys watch The Shy?
Yeah. Yep.
So there's an open marriage. I know Dot's kind of behind, so I'm not gonna say who and what.
Right.
But there's an open marriage. So let's say you saw that your boy's in an open relationship or in an open marriage.
Do I know he's in that scenario?
But I think a lot of people who are in those kind of situations probably wouldn't broadcast that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially the dude.
Okay.
It's like do your thing. It's usually do your thing and don't put it out there. Yeah.
But now you see that, and so it's like you see it, and now it's like you didn't know that they was in an open relationship.
Right.
There's always it's every situation different.
Are you guys down with that? That whole concept, open, like, one thing, not for nothing, I ain't gonna knock them. T.I. and Tiny, they're open. Like, hey, listen, we like to bring people onto our bedroom. We like to have fun. We provide them all the paraphernalia that we need. You know what I'm saying? Like,
have babies with people.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
You said that like it was a fact.
Yeah, like,
you
know, Josh.
Yeah,
Nah,
they
say it on Twitter.
Nah,
it's true.
I seen. Nah, all I seen. What? Nah, I'm not gonna say what I seen.
Right.
Go ahead.
But
now you guys, because my thing is, I'm all about spicing up the relationship.
I mean, I could.
That's more than spice.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. Like, it just, I don't know. That's just like weird to me. Like, if whoever your significant other is, that's the one. Like, that's the one you doing everything where you're not gonna like bring other stuff in there. Like, I'm not that like horny that I want to like be doing all type of wild stuff like that. But like on Will and Jada. Yeah. They was basically like yo, from what I gather, they love each other, but they feel like they're better off as friends and they're better off together as like a business.
Right.
but they're at the point where, like, you know, they want to be together still, but they want to see other people, and that's fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what works for them. Yeah, that's what works for them. I think what the
issue was,
he
Will
made it
Smith
public.
keeps his on the DL,
and she's out there on Red Table
she's
Talk.
Sickening.
Yeah,
she's sick.
Well, she got to get them ratings, you know. She got to get them.
But how many
Red
letters you
Table.
gonna write to Tupac? He been dead like 30 years.
She's kind of riding that wave a little.
She
a little
basically
too
saying,
crazy.
I really wanted a thug this whole time. I settled for the square. The square gave me stability. But what really tickles my loins is this gangster thug. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like a lot of women are in that situation where they feel like they're settling, or you know, classified as dating down.
Oh yeah.
But if they ever get the opportunity to,
it's not so much about dating down. It's like you can't have everything. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to be with a dude like you know what I'm saying, like a Pac or something, not like a Pac. Let's say like, you know, you love the street energy. Well, then you have to deal with everything that comes with dating a dude who's in the streets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to, so you kind of have to weigh the options. But I agree with Doc. I don't think an open marriage is for me. I think that when you bring other people into your relationship, too many things can kind of go sideways.
Yeah, but I'm not saying in the beginning of it, but sometimes you get to that 20 year mark.
But we ain't there yet.
No, I'm saying if you
But
ever get there,
but if you want to do marriage,
you gotta consider
it's
that.
not easy. Like,
Yeah,
you know, you
hard.
get to 20 years, you gotta see. Like, I'm not saying everybody's 20 years been, like, you know, straight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you gotta work for it. It ain't just gonna be a smooth 20. You're gonna be days you may not even want to touch
But
that
you guys
person.
are down to adding things to spice it up, though.
Yeah, spicing it up is
Like
one thing.
oils, dildos,
Guy,
vibrators, porn.
what you doing, man? This guy nuts.
You lost me at
Yo, put that 50 cents down.
he's a wild dude.
I'm just saying, like,
That's when you used to leave the Crusade and be at the Amazing Store. This guy right there on Allen. Yo, this guy is you are one of a kind.
I'm just saying, you guys.
You
are
have to spice it up.
All right, that's
Role
all I'm saying.
play,
I'm saying role
massage,
play,
all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but
couples retreat.
Yeah.
But you talking about dildos and vibrators. This guy banging his head against the
Zeem,
dildo.
what's that? What's the dominatrix? That's what this Zeem be doing, man.
I'm just going off the experts. What the experts say to make your relationship spicy. And
Well,
I
you've
think,
been in a relationship for a lot longer than we have.
yeah, that's true.
it's different.
That's true. And I think
different
what keeps us going is being open-minded with a lot of situations. You know what I'm saying?
Yup.
And I think when you have kids, especially, you have to do a lot of pre-planning. So the pre-planning ain't too shabby. So you have the spontaneous, you know what I'm saying, where you're a single couple living on your own. You guys can do it whenever, wherever, however, whatever the case would be. When you have kids, you know, it's kind of fun when the kids are sleeping and you're trying to be quiet. Like, you know what I mean? That's a thing. Then you have the, yo, listen, mom, you got to take the boys for the weekend. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then you plan the shit.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
even more fun and exciting. So you got to do different things, man. You can't be scared. A lot of relationships right now, just the same missionary on top. You know what I mean? You got to...
Sex doctor right there. Sex
You
doctor
gotta,
out of
you
there.
gotta do different things. I'm telling you, that is the only way. And one thing I do suggest is don't watch porn while you're doing it, because what those guys doing on screen, they are athletes. They have the stamina, the endurance. Like, listen, I'm not going a 47-minute with dialogue. You know what I'm saying?
That's why they get paid the
That's
big
why
bucks.
they get paid
That's
the
why they
big
get paid the
bucks,
big
man. Real
bucks.
talk.
So, do you think that there's still hope for the gold?
For sure.
Yeah, they're gonna win the gold.
You think
but
so?
So
only
if they win the
Luka's
gold,
the only
what
way in their
happens?
way.
So all right. So if they win gold, will you come on here and apologize to KD?
No, I want to apologize for you for speaking ill will on Pop's name. Because it's so funny how you guys are so quick to be like, look at the roster, look at this, look at that, look at this. Pop this is not ready for this, and Concept and now this. So apologize for Pop getting this mediocre
will you
team
apologize
led
to
by
KD?
KD. What?
First of all, the team
So
is
yeah,
not
you
mediocre.
see what I'm saying? KD
team
will
isn't
never be
mediocre.
right.
Huh?
The team isn't mediocre.
Yeah, that's what you guys are telling me. The
No,
roster's flawed.
no,
Or-
I'm not- no.
or Pop's not ready for this
Nah,
roster. Or
Sometimes you gotta listen more.
I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna slow down and listen.
Right.
While I take
Venom, Venom,
while I
you can't.
take a sip of
Seppy
Seppy
sips.
sips.
Shout out to Joe, man. Listen, I think the roster is by far the most talented roster in the Olympics this year. By far the most talented roster.
Okay.
I think that what happens is that Pop is used to running one kind of system, and he's used to certain kind of players. Like Dot was saying, like Pop would do better with France or another team than he would probably with USA. So USA might win it off talent alone because the talent is so overwhelming. Like, when you got two of the top 7 to 8 players in the league, talking about KD and Dame, you got Tatum, you got Middleton, Holiday, Bam, that's way more than enough talent to win. But I think that Pop, you know what I'm saying, has to humble himself on one end, and the players have to also accept some coaching. Because it's not just Pop's fault, but run the high pick and roll. Run a spread. Like
I'm just telling you this. What you're saying is to conform to the plays that you have on the roster strengths.
Yes.
And I get that, which is a lot of ISO ball players. They're
pick and roll players.
Pick and roll players who are not accustomed to running sets because usually they're obviously the most talented and the team is most talented versus other opponents.
I would say that they're all used to running sets. They're not used to running concepts. Concepts and sets are different.
This team got to win a different kind of way. 2012, 2008, the team was so great on defense that like half the game was fast breaks.
Right.
Or just I'm overpowering you so much, I'm just getting through the lane, I'm just dunking on you. This team doesn't have that personnel. Right. You know what I'm saying? So they have to try to win. They have to try to outscore people. They're not going to defend. They got to outscore everybody.
This team, to me, is no heart and no size, right?
No heart and no size, bro.
There's no size. Who's the big man?
But
JaVale McGee, that's what you're hanging your hat on?
I'm saying, but when you start talking about like heart, bro, like how do you even measure that?
I'm measuring heart in the sense of
Draymond don't got heart, Dame don't got heart.
No.
KD don't got heart.
I apologize if that offended you because it seems like you're getting sensitive.
Now I'm saying,
you okay? Are you okay?
Are you okay?
I'm okay because I made it a statement and you got offended by it.
No,
I'm just saying that these are the players. No, these are not the players who are going to go get the 50-50 balls. They are not going to dive on the floor. And
Draymond don't dive?
No. But he's not getting the playing time.
He played 30 minutes.
And what did he do? Tell me a stat line.
It don't.
It don't matter.
Hustle points.
Heart or a stat line? Hustle or a stat line?
But
all over the place
didn't do those things in that France game from the third quarter on. What I watched.
Where is he right now?
What do you mean?
Where is he right now?
You're so
what do you mean? Where is he?
All over the place.
Who you don't like the thing is, you get so you know the game, but you get so tripped up on your words sometimes because you just.
I'm your conscience.
I know I've been sipping this. I'm almost done, but I am clear and I'm just letting you know.
Conscience.
These are guys that don't want to sit in a chair. You got Dame, KD, and Jason Tatum, 3 poor defenders. Zach LaVine is not a good defender. Draymond, yes, a good defender, but he can't give you nothing offensively. Bam is trying, but he's really like a 6'9", 6'10".
What about Holiday?
Undersized center.
What about Holiday?
Holiday played the best.
What about Middleton? He's another defender.
Well, he wasn't out there. He didn't play enough.
Why?
And what do you think?
Has USA cracked 100?
No. So you have all this talent and you can't even crack 100?
So at what point does that fall back on the coaching?
System?
Wow. So you're telling me they're out-talented. Because I'm not going to lie to you guys right now. I feel like if I have KD, Zach, Dame, whatever, you guys can go get Steve Nash, put him at that seat, and like I always say, the Kerr effect. Kerr just said, "Hey guys, go have some fun." And we're gonna win.
But that's why. But that's the part of the game that I feel like you've always been so wrong about.
Yeah.
Like you can't just say, "Hey, all the best guys in the world, go play," and it's gonna be. You know, the other guys they're playing against are the best players in the world too, right?
Well, are they on the level of USA?
Well, France had a whole starting 5 that played in the NBA.
They play in the NBA, and what are their roles in the NBA?
Well,
as
you just throw that out
NBA
there
starter,
as if
Gobert's an NBA starter. That's 2 NBA starters.
Who else?
Who
else? Well, who else is accomplished?
Batum's a good player.
Jan
What,
Mahimi is
TLC?
a former NBA
Evan
starter.
Fournier.
Jan Mahimi, former NBA starter. So it's not just like
It's
They're
not.
starters,
Tom,
but
Dick,
you
and
know
Harry.
they're minimum players. Like, stop making
They're not.
excuses for
Rudy
these guys.
Gobert is the 2 or 3 times.
And got
3 years in a
killed
row
and got
defensive player
killed
of the
by the Clippers.
by the media.
But that
By
was,
the
yeah, but-
media.
yeah,
The guy got exposed and
he had
abused.
2 bad games. How about the first 2 games when he was sending shit? And then it's a different game. It's a different game. Against the Clippers in
Like,
the
imagine
NBA,
if
you
he
have
never had
have
to leave the
move-
paint against the
yeah.
Clippers. There
He
would never
could
be no
stand
layups,
there.
bro. There would never be no layups.
Well, listen, in this FIFA rules, he doesn't have to. And the
FIFA.
U.S. How you say FIBA?
FIBA.
FIBA, whatever. I'm thinking soccer FIFA.
Okay, Ocho Cinco.
Yo, he dominated. He controlled the paint. Listen, there's no heart and there's no size. I'm
How do
standing
you
by
measure
that
whether they don't have heart or not? Tell me.
because they wasn't getting those 50-50 balls. They wasn't
So
sitting
you
in
watched
the chair.
a quarter and a half and made the assumption.
I watched the
they
whole
got
game.
Oh
hard.
no, I watched the exhibition games too and made the same assumptions. These guys don't want to get dirty. They just want to shoot threes, be finesse players, and think this is the NBA. They're still. You should have seen Dame Dollar crying, bitching, moaning, wanting calls from the referees. This ain't the NBA.
And so
They're not going to bail
let me
you
stop
out.
you right there. So let me stop you right there. You just said Dame Dollar was bitching, moaning, crying, but KD leadership is the reason they can't win. Like, you all over
Because,
the place,
nah,
man. Like, yo,
no,
he's
I'm
so
all over
agenda
the place with
based.
talking
He's so
paint.
agenda based,
KD
man.
right
like, you
now
can make a man not be a
is
diva,
getting
another
exposed.
superstar.
I don't.
He's getting
But
exposed.
what is, but Zeem, I think that KD's been in the league since he's 19. He's like 33 now. Like, he is who we know.
You
who
know,
Kevin
you
Durant
know
is.
his famous quote. You know
You know
who
who
I
I
am.
am.
I'm KD.
He's K-
You
yo,
know who
you-
that's
I
deep.
I actually
Yo,
know that.
you hold on, wait.
That was one of the
Hold on,
realest
wait, hold
quotes
on,
ever.
wait. Well, you want to make me real mad is that he's the most talented. He's just so good. It's just so easy. for
KD
him.
difference.
KD different.
But then he can't lead. Like, Curry would have never won without KD, but then now KD
No, no,
lacks
no.
leadership.
Yo,
skills.
but
what
that's
he
what,
used to say.
but that's a media trick. What they did was they used Curry against KD and used KD against Curry.
Yeah.
And
We
he
seen
falls for all of it. Like, he
Yeah.
watches Shannon Sharp,
Uncle Shay Shay.
First Take, and whatever they say.
Has
is
KD won a ring without Curry? Yes or no?
What's that mean? What does that matter?
All right.
That Curry.
Speaking of a ring,
Curry's his
hold on.
father.
Speaking of a ring, those screenshots you were sending of that Spaces when KD
Oh, yeah,
was,
KD
that was
funny.
crazy.
Yeah, KD funny.
KD is the most interesting man in the world, and I hate it and love it at the same time.
He's wild, bro.
Yeah, he's a wild,
KD
wild guy.
funny.
All right.
Man.
So speaking of a ring, the Milwaukee Bucks just won the 2021 NBA COVID championship. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man
Oh,
Giannis.
Hold on. Let me text Abe because I still haven't gotten paid.
You haven't gotten paid
This
yet?
Crazy.
Oh yeah, 'cause I
He's
can't lie. He
delinquent.
sent me my 20.
Yeah, he sent me my 22, and he's like, "Don't tell
it's
Doc."
respect
Texting him
over
right
here.
now.
Yeah, he did.
He did say that. That's what was in the
Yeah, go on,
cash app.
Josh. Go on.
So Giannis Antetokounmpo was the 2021 NBA Finals MVP. He's a 2-time MVP. He's a Defensive Player of the Year. He's all defense. He's 7 feet,
Yep.
260.
Yep.
He was a physical force in the whole playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Played
Beautiful to see.
on a hyperextended knee because his
Yep.
knee went every which way, but the way it was supposed to go against the Hawks when he fell down. What is y'all view of Giannis? Has he claimed the throne as the best player in the NBA?
I'm going to say yes, because I would say this. LeBron James at times this year looked very disinterested. And the fact that he was so unconcerned about losing in the first round and telling AD, take your time, you could tell he just wanted to go on a Space Jam media run.
Yo, I hate this.
I'm being honest.
Always when LeBron lose, it's always an excuse. Like he lost.
Dog, was I
he just
talking?
wasn't
Was I
good
talking?
enough.
Yes or no?
Space
Was I
Jam is the
talking? Yes or
reason.
no?
Go,
Now
go,
you're
go,
being
go,
disrespectful.
go.
Now
Go,
you're
do your
not.
thing. Do your thing,
Right?
man. Do your thing.
Now with KD showed me a lot that Milwaukee Bucks series. I gained a lot of respect for
Can
him.
I ask you a follow-up question to
Yeah, go
that?
ahead.
Why does it feel like we always give guys more credit when they lose than when they actually win the championship?
Because
That's
there's a
weird.
lot of circumstances. Like when I looked at LeBron James losing to the Golden State Warriors in 2016, the guy averaged 36 points, 10 and 8 with no Kyrie and Kevin Love. What, like, you want me to be angry at the guy for losing? When I see LeBron James get swept by the Golden State Warriors that has KD, Curry, Clay, and Draymond, and he's rolling out there with Jordan Clarkson and what was that team? Tristan Thompson.
Kevin Love.
You want me to be upset at the guy? When I see KD going hard body and he got Joe Harris, half of James Harden, and Bruce Bowen, you want me to be upset with the guy?
So why does it seem like we always want to give guys credit when they lose instead of when they win?
I'm not giving them credit. I'm just not going to bash them. So I'll look at Giannis. Regardless what was out there, he did what he had to do. And people forget, he actually played better than Kevin Durant in that Game 7 in Kevin Durant's house.
But let's catch him up on his words again.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's catch him up on his words again. He said that Kevin Durant scored 48 points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a Game 5 or Game 7.
Game 7 was an inch shoe size away from winning the game, and he said he's not gonna bash a guy for playing well and losing because of the circumstances of who was out there and what's happening.
Yeah.
Harden, no leg.
No Kyrie.
No Kyrie.
But he said earlier, a few minutes ago, he needed to yell at Joe Harris to get him going. But LeBron needs to.
That's what
LeBron
you need
is okay
to do.
Because it was only Jordan Clarkson out there. It was okay.
But you see how I just said I'm not gonna go hard on KD.
So why didn't LeBron yell at Jordan
I just
Clarkson?
know he's not a leader. He never
So why did
showed.
LeBron lead Clarkson to win? You can't win one game.
No, not against that.
You can't win one game.
Not against that super team. No. Nope.
It's like the standard.
No. But let me finish on my Giannis take.
I'm listening.
All right, let me finish on my Giannis take. What Giannis did was, first of all, show there's a different way to win. I can actually bully you. I can actually out-physical you. I can actually jump higher than you. I can out-hustle you. And it doesn't need to look pretty. It doesn't need to be tween, behind the cross, hezzy, back cross, step back, 3. I'm just going to go downhill and go run it back, boom, on your head. And I can win that way. Half-back dive. And that's what Giannis did. And I respect him so much because you know what I really love what he did? He's promoting for his Disney movie. I came from the struggle. I shared sneakers.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, and I have nothing
These
bad to
guys
say
hate
about
the struggle.
Giannis earned that ring.
Yeah.
Happy for him.
Yeah.
But when they lose next year, or if they lose next year, and because they were down 47 in Game 2.
Yeah,
if they anyway happen to get punched by the Nets next year in the playoffs, the way remember this episode.
We're gonna
archive it.
Episode 6.
The way he's gonna change. And he's gonna talk so much trash about Greek, like that's what he does. Like whoever's high at the moment, he loves. Whoever's down at the moment, he steps on. That's what he does. He just changes. So never
so you're confident that the Nets are gonna beat the Bucks next year?
Full strength, they'll sweep them.
Sweep.
Gentlemen sweep at most.
Can we put $100? Oh, gentlemen sweep
at most.
$100.
If they're full
if
strength,
they link up.
It's full strength, yeah.
Full strength, both team full strength. Nah.
Okay,
we
gotta
lock that in.
What
did you see from Giannis? Do you think he is the best player in the NBA right now and deserves that title? Yes or no?
Yeah, I would say he's the best player, and I'll tell you why. I guess his competition would be LeBron and Kevin Durant. Yep. As great as Kevin Durant was.
Can we ask Steph Curry? I really want to give him credit for the year that he had this year.
Yeah, we could add him.
Wow. Go ahead.
I almost had a heart attack. I was like, that's why I was so caught up. I'm like, what the hell? I think that Giannis is probably the best player in the league Game 1 to 82 through the playoffs.
Okay.
In a playoff series, then you could have like the discussion about like Bron and KD, because Brooklyn was in a good situation this year because when KD went down, they had Harden. Mm-hmm. And when Harden was hurt, they had Kyrie and KD. You know what I'm saying? So I think that I have to say Giannis is the best player because Game 1 through 82, he's going to dominate because he's still young. He's 26. Yep. And then in the playoffs, he's still able to give you, 30 and 14. Yep. And great interior defense. So as of right now, he is. Although I do think that in a playoff series, I think that Kevin Durant's probably better than Giannis. And LeBron James, jury's out. Let's see how he looks next year. Because at that age, you got to go year to year.
Giannis, best player in the NBA, yes or no?
Yes.
He
Best
deserves
player.
the crown right now.
Deserves the crown right now.
All right.
And for the record straight, we've been saying it. I got the receipts. We've been saying this from last year. Like
Yeah,
he
yeah,
does
I
it, and
agree,
people
I
try to
agree.
say he don't deserve the MVP.
Right.
Like how are we giving it to him? But
Right,
best
right.
player does it
All
every
right,
night.
I'm with it.
Yeah,
Yo, listen.
there was a lot of AD was better than Giannis talk, and he's more skilled than Giannis. But I think that Giannis' track record is just to the point now where I think that comparison is kind of
Taking teams to the playoffs, getting number one
back-to-back
seeds.
MVP. Yep, number one seeds, defensive player of the year,
Yeah.
5-time first-team All-NBA, now NBA Finals.
He had his bad loss was the Heat, but he lost to Kawhi. You know what I'm saying? He
yeah.
lost-
They had Kawhi, Siakam,
Yeah, he lost-
and
he lost to
Anunoby,
Kawhi,
Gasol,
yeah.
Ibaka.
So that Heat loss was a bad loss.
That was
you know what I'm
bad.
saying? But I
But it's
mean,
not like a LeBron.
AD
James
wasn't getting
2011
out that AD
Nah,
got
it's
out of
pretty
the first
bad.
round once before LeBron.
True, true.
I can't like I think every superstar has that one series that they wish they could like wipe away.
Take back.
You know what
All
I'm
right,
saying?
so
That's
all right, switching gears real quick. We're gonna go to the NFL, right? And I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm loving the fact that everything's open. Like the only time I gotta wear a mask is when I go to work, because work at a school, whatever the case may be. So now this is this big controversy in regards to the NFL is making it extremely hard if you're unvaccinated. You can't be around the team. You can't eat meals with the team. You got to be in a separate hotel, separate locker room. Got to go through different protocols. They're basically doing all the, I don't want to say petty, because whatever the case may be, but you could tell they're doing a lot of things to
doing
encourage
everything-
people
yeah.
To
to
get
get
vaccinated.
vaccinated. So obviously you have people like Cole Beasley, DeAndre Hopkins, and there's a few other, even some coaches who now, because they're
Left.
considered tier one, left or fired or had to be let go because of their decision, whatever the case may be. Now, my question to you guys, do you like what the NFL is doing here?
The NFL, whether we like it or not, their intentions behind it, they got to do it. You know, that they got to do it that way. That just has to be that way. But those guys that don't want to get the vaccine, I respect it. If you stand on it strong enough to lose your job over it, like who am I to say, like, you're foolish? Like, if that's what you believe. Because end of the day, like, I'm vaccinated.
Yep.
I hope and I think that it was for the better of everybody else. But
Right.
who knows, 20 years from now, it might do something to me. You know what I'm saying? And I can't
If you ever got the COVID vaccine 19, make sure you look at the side effects of nausea, breast cancer. Those commercials.
Zeem is crazy.
It's always a step. It's always a little. Always that one. I was with you. You said breast cancer, and I'm like, oh Lord, here it is.
Zeem
I
crazy.
get that, but I'm with you. Good.
But nah, I feel like if you, not for nothing, if you feel like it's gonna be a side effect that you don't want to take the risk, like, you shouldn't be judged for not getting it, and you shouldn't be judged if you did decide to get it. So,
Josh, how you feel, man?
I kind of. Oh man, I hate to say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yo, those players sound so ignorant. Like,
Expound
you
on that.
have the access to the best doctors, the best trainers,
Mm-hmm.
and you're getting your information from YouTube and Instagram.
Wait, why you feel? For example, DeAndre
because,
Hopkins.
Like, so no, I'm just saying,
Oh,
like,
just-
so I saw what like Cole Beasley was
Okay,
saying.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
another dude, Feliciano from Buffalo, as well, and I'm like, do you even like yo, you have like you're in such a privileged position.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're all privileged because we all have really good jobs and we all have access to doctors, this, that, and the third. If I have questions about the vaccine, I can call my doctor.
Right.
I'm not gonna go on YouTube and be like, yo, like, someone said, like, between the effects of COVID, vaccine, and 5G, we're all gonna grow a third arm. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
right.
So I get frustrated with that, and then it's like, you guys put every single other thing in your body. So I watch a lot of Vice on YouTube, and there's a Vice channel. So there's this thing called like the dark side of the NFL, and there's at least 2 or 3 episodes where they talk about all the pills these guys take that aren't FDA approved,
Right.
all the painkillers, all the Toradol shots, and to make it even worse, the Toradol shots aren't even just for the players. They say that everybody from the players to the coaches line up and take a Toradol shot every single week.
Sheesh.
Like Marcellus Wiley was going into like a long diatribe about all the stuff he's taken
Right.
and has seen other people take. It's a free country.
Right.
Do what you want, but I also have the freedom to look at you and be like, all right, dude.
6 months ago, I would have been like, everybody got to get vaccinated. Let's get everybody healthy. But like, with new information, like, who am I to judge if you don't want to put something in your body, or like, that your privileges are getting taken away because you're not willing to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, yeah, they make a lot of money, but at the end of the day, in my opinion, they're still human beings, And if you're willing to stand, you could talk about whatever you want. Like, you don't always have to be quiet and just understand and just don't say nothing. Speak on it if you feel you want to.
And if you stand by it 10 toes down.
But if you're willing to take, like, those coaches, like, damn, that's tough. I don't know if I'd lose my job over it, but I respect them. Like, they lost their jobs, they were let go because they don't believe in the vaccine that much. So how could you hate on that? You know what I'm saying?
And I just look at it like this. At the end of the day, the NFL is a $1 billion business. At the end of the day, the shield is a shield. I love D-Hop, probably top 3 wide receiver. They don't give a damn. They'll find another
they'll find
wide
another
receiver. Like, you ain't hurting them, whatever the case may be, whatever your decisions be. And I do agree with Josh. These guys put a lot of things in their bodies. A lot of people put a lot of things in their bodies and not.
I'm a sibling, but I ain't taking the vaccine.
Right, yeah.
But that's your choice to take it, though.
Right, that's
it's your choice. They're saying you have to take this, or you could take whatever performance enhancing you want. You don't gotta take it. You're doing it because you want to better yourself, whatever the case may be.
Right.
You don't want to take the vaccine, and now you're saying if you don't take it, you ain't gonna be able to do X, Y, and Z. That's why it gets tricky.
It does.
I can smoke 100 cigarettes a day, but if you tell me in order to go to work, I gotta smoke marijuana.
Right.
I don't want marijuana. I want cigarettes.
Right.
So
well, then I hear you. But you know what? Take your talents elsewhere.
And I get that, and that's why I said I respect those
both
coaches.
sides.
Yeah.
So, but like, I can't believe that dudes walk away from $100,000, $150,000 a year job. I'm setting aside like the
talking about the
players.
assistant coaches.
Yeah. I'm setting the players aside. Like I'm like, yo, you are.
But no, that means they're really invested in their beliefs and thoughts on it.
My biggest problem is like I'm not looking at it as like a political thing. A lot of the problem around the vaccine, kind of on both sides, is that the vaccine became political.
I don't.
Yeah. No. I'm gonna tell you why.
It did.
Because everybody, like, my mouth, and I'm not surprised by a lot. My mouth dropped when Sean Hannity got on Fox News and said, "Please take the vaccine." The governors from Alabama, Louisiana, the dude who never closed his state, Ron DeSantis, said, "Please take the vaccine," because their emergency rooms are overloaded. So I'm looking at like yo, I don't want to take a vaccine if I don't have to.
Right.
I'm doing it to benefit other people. I'm not even like so much worried. Like I had COVID.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like I was sick. It wasn't pleasant, but I survived. And most of the people my age who get it 99.9 are gonna survive. It's not about me.
Right.
It's about like one. It's about on a human level protecting people.
Right.
And secondly, it's like look at all the damage that all these shutdowns have caused people.
Right.
Right. So on one hand, I'm like, cool. You don't want to take it, fine. But on the other hand, I'm like, you want to protest, be angry that stuff's not open, that people are wearing a mask, that schools are closed, and we're probably gonna head towards another shutdown again, and you're gonna be mad about that, but you don't want to take the vaccine, which is what everyone's saying can alleviate that. So it's like a never-ending circle of like.
It's tough.
It's tough, and I kind of go back at that as. Like, we bring up Dr. Sebi. He had remedies that was getting blackballed, like, blocked out. Nobody wanted to hear about.
Yep.
And you got to take something because they saying this is for the betterment of everybody else. Like, you can't never, like, I get, if you like the vaccine, and that's why I say, if you for the vaccine, which I think Cole Beasley was alluding to, if you're for the vaccine and that works for you, do that.
Right.
I'm never gonna judge you. I'm not gonna say you're dumb. I'm not gonna say, you're tripping for taking that. And I think the people that do that, that say, don't put that in your body, the YouTubers, that's wrong. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to take it, don't put on somebody like, yo, you could be killing somebody else, or you don't worry. Like, at the end of the day, you should be able to control. You should be able to control what's going into your body.
But I'm just saying in the sense of when you say the emergency rooms and you're protecting others.
Because I don't want to hear no more stories about a conservative, anti-vaxxer person talking about, on their deathbed or their wife as they're on their deathbed.
But that's-
or
but
but
that's
hold on, no, wait. Because everyone that's dying right now, like people are saying, well, people are getting it who had the vaccine, but 99.9% of the people who are dying right now of COVID are unvaccinated. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I get it. Like, don't take it cool, but I don't want to hear the sob stories about someone who infected their grandmother or someone who infected their whole family, and now people are dying. Like, yo, I read this story about this woman in Arkansas who was anti-vax, leading protests, marches. She gave her son COVID, 20 years old, dropped dead.
But bro, that stuff come on the internet every day. I click on Twitter. There's a news story: anti-vaxxer declined to take then dies.
But
it's just
that's
like,
what I'm saying. I don't want to hear it.
So what are you alluding to? You think it's just
it's
misinformation?
propaganda. So yo, Zeem, if you got
propaganda's
Zeem, if you got the flu, if my 90-year-old grandmother, I have the flu. I don't take the flu shot.
Right.
And my 90-year-old grandmother gets the flu off of me.
Yeah.
That's the same. So if you're gonna make the COVID vaccine, make the flu vaccine mandatory.
it just goes
That's why
on
you
and
can.
on.
So it became political when we got into the point of like, if you don't take it, you're wrong. If you do take it, you're wrong.
Right.
You got to do what you. At the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, you can't
Everybody
be
else
bad
be
at
damned.
business.
But
Everybody
that's
else
you
be
can
bad
say
at
that
business
about anybody
entities.
else. You can say that
Everybody
with
else
anything.
be damned.
So what about you got to make if you're gonna make the COVID vaccine
No,
mandatory, you
it's
got to make
different.
the flu Why?
Because you're the one that was talking to me earlier before, not earlier today, but earlier in the year about, I said it's similar to the flu. No, it's not. It's more this.
But
and
what
this.
I say what was the first thing I said today? I said, 6 months ago, the way I thought about it versus
Why is
now
that
is
now?
different.
Why is that? Why
Because
is
I got
that?
more information.
Yeah, but also I think it also might have had something to do with we're outside been
But
open.
that's where you
And
lose me.
and so
you can't determine what my mindset
Right.
is
Over
why I'm thinking this. I
circumstances,
saw it this
yeah.
way, and trust me, I've known people that had COVID.
Yeah.
I know how serious it is.
Right.
But I've gotten to the point with the information and using my own common sense.
Right.
It's like, at the end of the day, if you like, you
So
can't
you
force
would
nobody to do something.
so
man.
you can't.
if
You
so
can't. You
if
can't.
so
You
if
can't.
so if you weren't vaccinated right now, would you get vaccinated?
If I wasn't vaccinated,
Right now, would you get vaccinated?
I believe that it will do it better, but that's my personal
So
belief.
Right.
But why? So why?
But Josh, my thing is.
But no, wait, no.
All right, go ahead.
I'm asking, why would you get vaccinated right now? Saying that you don't
Because
you feel differently 6 months ago than you do today. Why would you feel?
So the reason why I got vaccinated, I didn't want COVID.
Yeah.
I felt like me getting the vaccine would prevent me from ever getting COVID. I'm a big dude. I never wanted to even try COVID or have it pass me. But then I found out, people who are getting the vaccine are still getting COVID. Well, I'm like, shit. You know what I'm saying?
So then, why would you get it right now? Then is
what are you
I'm
saying?
asking.
I
So-
probably would. To be honest with you, it probably wouldn't be a yearly thing I do. It wouldn't be as strong of an emphasis as I made it this past year.
Nah, but what
to
I'm
get
saying is
vaccinated.
if you hadn't been vaccinated and you said that your mind has changed, let's say the vaccination wasn't available to you 6 months ago,
Yeah.
and with all the new information and people you've talked to and things you researched, would you get the vaccination if they were like, yo, it's available for people now in your age range? Would you get it right now?
I would get it because I don't want to get sick.
Okay, that's my only point.
But how could I say for somebody who says, yo, I feel like my immune system's strong enough, I don't want to put that stuff in my
Right,
body. I don't
right.
believe in vaccines.
Right.
Like me personally, if I have a headache, I have anything, you can ask Steph. I will never take Tylenol. I'll never take aspirin. I'll deal with it. I don't like taking pills.
So what's the difference? So remember, years back before COVID, there was an anti-vaxxer movement of people didn't want to vaccinate their kids, and schools are like, yo, you can't send your kids to school,
without it,
and people are mad, and they were getting other people's kids sick, and so like at what point is it all right, maybe I don't believe it, but I'm doing it for the greater good.
But you can't. That's
Yeah,
not
but
nobody.
yeah,
that's
that-
something that doesn't happen.
Right, that's not realistic.
That's not life.
This whole
thing,
thing,
that's not life.
let me
That
be a
doesn't
Cape
happen.
Crusade to
I can
protect
tell- I
others.
can
It's
tell
not
you
about
people-
Cape
and then
Crusade. It's about
But nobody.
but
thinks
Josh,
like
that's what
that.
no one
A lot-
thinks like
a
that.
That's
lot of-
good that you think like that. But
I'm saying, but a lot of people do think like that. I don't. Yeah, I think a lot of people just took the
Meaning,
vaccine.
I'm willing to sacrifice any
No.
side effects that may have come
No, what
to
I'm
protect
saying,
you.
what I'm
you,
saying
you.
is yo, I've had the flu and strep, and it was way worse than COVID, as far as how it affected me.
Yeah.
Like I've had
And that's
I've had,
another thing.
Hold on, listen.
People side effects is
It's
different.
Right.
So I somebody could have been like, yo, I already had it. I'm not gonna get it again. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to be around my parents. I want to be around my older family members because I'm like, yo, I think that a lot of people like COVID's not really gonna affect us and kill us really.
We don't know that. We've never had it.
There's people at our age that have passed away.
Very few and far between, and they had a lot of pre-existing stuff.
But no, that's not true. Yeah, but let me hit you with this. Let's say, for instance, like you gave us, and the reason why I say the news and stuff is so much propaganda. Like you gave us these stats of what you saw on Twitter and Fox News and what you read, and you said 99% of people was dying. So what if, for instance, like I met somebody. And somebody, because people who do take the vaccine, they are going to have negative side effects from it. It's going to happen. Yeah. So let's say that now you grow up in a small town like Central Falls, right? Yeah. Where everybody, for the most part, knows each other. Right. Mm-hmm. Somebody gets that vaccine, that town gets vaccinated, and 3 people happen to have negative side effects from it. Now, do you think the rest of that town's going to want to take the vaccine? Right. So would they be wrong for saying they don't want it now? Right. So you're going to judge people that had a negative experience with it and say they don't care about nobody else's life when they see people die?
Yeah, because like that's see, like I like, you know, we all have our own personal experiences, but what you're talking about is anecdotal. It's like, oh well, DeAndre Hopkins. Well, I knew someone that was in the army and he got forced to have a COVID shot. I'm
gonna have to Google that. Anecdotal.
And he had a side effect. So what I'm saying is like, yes, like that does happen. There are side effects. Nothing's 100% proof. Just like if you take the flu vaccine, it's not 100% you're not going to get the flu. If you take the COVID vaccine, it's not 100% that you're not going to get COVID, but it betters your chances.
Josh, the vibes. Oh, go ahead,
go ahead, finish.
Nah, but what I'm saying is like I hate what I hate the most. Well, I talked to someone that this happened to them. Cool, that's one case.
Yeah, but that's enough to let you know not to do it.
Whole picture.
But Josh, I said something as simple as CF, where it's right close to you. You knew someone that died. So you're supposed to say, yo, the person that lived down the street from me died from it, but for the greater good, I'm gonna put it in myself because I watched something on TV that said everybody's getting. Nobody thinks like that.
You're coming across as you read the people who are unvaccinated as selfish people. What I'm trying to say.
Somewhat, yeah.
All right, so that's.
But I mean, but we live in a selfish country,
right? And I think that's something that you have to align with the thought process of this, because regardless, I'm fully vaccinated because of my work. I'm going to be around 1,200 people, so on and so forth. My job didn't say I had to do it, whatever the case may be, and I never got COVID, and I'm just afraid. Whatever, who knows? I don't know. So I got it. But my thing is, I don't view somebody else who decides not to get it for whatever reasons, I don't care what it is, as selfish. It's just they have their trepidancies,
in the country
about it. And right now, at the end of the day, there's some who, how can I say it, view it as the propaganda regardless. So the same way you see Shawn Hannity said this and
that's what I'm saying.
And the country thing about it, so for instance, I'm Jamaican. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And we read on Twitter or we read on Fox News or we read Sean Haggerty and it says countries are dying for it.
Right.
Like the vaccine may very well be good and it may be great. It may save a lot of people, but it's also a very good money maker that's going to bring money to that country. If you go to a place like Jamaica, and if you don't believe my word for it, go read the Jamaica Gleaner.
Yep.
A lot of Jamaicans don't want that vaccine. They will not take it. So the countries that you're reading from the outside looking in on like a Twitter article or Fox News article or CNN that's saying the country is dying for it, you're hearing from the representation of the country. You're never actually hearing from the actual people.
But the vaccine is free right now.
But you don't really know what's going on.
It's free right now.
But you don't know why people don't want it.
What I'm saying is like I get all that. I get all of that. All I'm saying is that in this country, in America, where the vaccine is available in abundance, that the reason why I brought up a Shawn Hannity thing and all the governors of all these southern states whose ERs are being flooded like how they were pre-vaccine, they're like, yo, please take it. Because what happened was when we're talking about propaganda, it was a like Republican conservative thing. I'm not saying all conservatives or Republicans.
I'm with you.
What I'm saying is that it was a thing where they're like, yo, they're using it as a way to, like, as you say, have propaganda, like get clicks and get views and all that stuff. Then meanwhile, all these dudes on Fox News are saying don't get the vaccine when they have been mandated for months that they had to get the vaccine or they couldn't come.
But that's fine. But what I'm saying is Fox News can't be a tell or be all
But I'm
or
saying
conservatives of if you need the vaccine or not.
I'm not saying that it's the be all end all. Like I understand, like some people are scared of needles. Some people just don't want to take medication. Fine, but what I'm saying is that there's so much. Like if you have a doctor, you can call them and talk to them about it. Right, so you trust them for every single other medical decision, or you can go get a second opinion.
But do you know that though? Like, you can't. You're making statements that are like generalized.
Well, that was a good point about you
trust
refer
them
to
everything
doctor.
else.
Nah, man.
Yes, everything else.
I'm not.
There's so many people
You
that
can't
take
put that
shit that they
pressure
don't
on
know.
people to say like, "Yo, take this because you're gonna save everybody else's life." Like,
I'll just say
man.
this, and we'll end on this. Regardless if you take it or don't take it, we as a country, we have to take the consequences that come with it. So
now we all
if
have to
we
suffer.
have to shut down again,
That's
if
the
we
case,
have
like,
to go back to masks, if we have to social distancing, it is what it is. And
Like, you're never gonna get 100% fully
And who will
vaccinated
be?
country.
Yeah,
So that's
we
just
know
like-
that. But you get a certain percent where you would reach
But
like
so
a good
at the
amount.
end of the day, what you're saying, if you don't want to take the vaccine, you're selfish and
No,
you're gonna
that's not
infect
what I'm
everybody.
saying.
Like,
That's not what
it's
I'm
gonna
saying.
come to a point where jobs, like all this little PPE,
They're gonna
money
force
and
you
all this
to, like, go
stimulus
do it,
check,
yeah.
It's gonna be over, ladies and gentlemen. If you're still relying on that, you're still not trying to get a job. I get it, whatever, free money, but it's gonna end by the end of this year. And I'm being dead ass. You know, you could do what.
PPE money.
I'm just saying,
You're a funny
all
dude.
these stimulus checks, whatever, the children credit tax, whatever. I don't know. I hear it, I read about it, whatever it would be. It's gonna end, and what's gonna end up happening is states are gonna start telling workforces that it's mandatory, and that's how they're gonna slowly. AKA, I feel like the NFL is a guinea pig to this, just to show, like, look, we're doing this with millionaires.
California just did it.
Did they with the
Well,
jobs
like
that they tell them?
mandating it, or else you gotta do like all this, like how like Doc was saying, like you gotta like be in like a different locker room, do all this different stuff.
Yeah, they're gonna start doing it. So just be on the lookout for that. All right, so another controversy thing before we get out of here is we have I'm gonna be real and honest. I just think he is talented. I think he has a skill. I think he knows how to push buttons, and to me, he is monetizing everything off of controversies right now, and that's Lil Nas X. So if you haven't seen it, Lil Nas X, the other day, I can't lie, as a joke, I literally sent it to all 8 of my group chats that I'm in, that YouTube video. You guys seen it?
Yeah, I seen it.
Of his industry plant with Jack Harlow. I'm going to say this before I go on. Jack Harlow bodied it. You know what I mean? His verse, we have an A&R in here. You know what I'm saying? Is Jack Harlow the man in the industry? Like, is he respected?
I mean,
Like, I know he's almost like an industry plant himself.
he's on the come up.
He's on the come up. Because I
Say like he's like the guy.
Right. But he's on the come up. He got a nice umbrella, DJ Drama. I feel, you know what I mean? I feel like he can get a Uzi verse whenever he wants. But anyway, back to the point ahead. They got a song together. In this video, it is brazy. All right, so if you haven't seen it, go seen it. Whatever. I'm just.
What's
it is
the
what
song
it is.
again? Lil Nas X industry plant?
Industry plant.
Okay.
So in this, the theme is all about the Satan shoe that he came out and this whole jail scene that he gets sentenced. He's in a jail. The jail is populated with African American males. They got a twerk scene with nudity in the shower scene. The one that had me dying when he comes out the cell and he has 2 dudes holding his pockets, walking down the hallway. He's twerking in the yard. It was just wild. You know what I'm saying? So he's been getting a lot of just mixed reviews in regards to
A lot of streams.
but a couple of prominent journalists came out and said, listen, this has nothing to do with supporting gay pride or whatever. One tweeted that it was an AIDS super spreader type video. That's what I'm telling you. That was a legit word.
I know. It's funny when you say it.
he's promoting and having an agenda that is detrimental to the country, so on and so forth. And then Lil Nas X replied to like, hey, listen, we just got to call a spade a spade. Just say you don't like gay this or gay that. Stop trying to associate me with that. So I threw that in the chat today, and my guys, they got busy. I was literally like working on 2 PowerPoints, and I could not focus because of 2 stances that I'll admit right here. I agree to both sides. I understand both sides, and I was able to name it and understand it, and I have my personal beliefs on it. You know what I mean? But the question I have for you guys is, this Lil Nas X, is he a detriment to the music culture and what he's trying to portray? Or is he, and I'm naming it like this for a reason, is he just another artist doing another things that all hip-hop artists has been doing for the last 30 years? What say you?
I wouldn't call him a detriment, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
you know, but artists of his stature,
Yep.
like, you know, you're going to get criticized.
Right.
And my thing is, like, Twitter, like, I love Twitter, but I hate Twitter. You know what I'm saying? And, like, sometimes you guys tell me to listen to certain stuff, and I'll thumbs it up and heart it, or I'll be like, nah, I don't want to hear it, because it's just like everybody puts an agenda out there, and it's just like that's the gospel. That's like, use your common sense or what you think for. I like natural conversations, and I feel like everything that, like, you know, Lil Nas X, if you say something dislike about it, it's like you said something bad about gay people, and it's like, no, like, you don't necessarily, you can love gay people, you can actually be gay, and you can critique it, you know what I'm saying? You can say, oh, I didn't like the way he did that video, I didn't like what he put out there, I thought it wasn't appropriate. That doesn't mean you hate gay people.
So what in the video you found to be inappropriate or made you uncomfortable, or thinking that he gave out the wrong messaging to whatever? Because the key word in those tweets that was presented in the group chat was the word irresponsible. So what in the video did you find to be irresponsible?
So I think Josh put a couple of tweets in our group chat earlier.
Yeah.
From black journalists.
Black journalists, and he said, one said something about pumping AIDS out. That was nonsense.
Yeah.
But there was one dude that said, like, you know, I think the way he phrased it could have been wrong, but I kind of understood what I thought his general message was. Like, he said, next thing these producers or these labels are gonna have him, like, you know, having sex on a plantation.
Yeah.
So
Slave shit.
So what I didn't like. So if you want, like, you know, if you want to promote equality and you want to promote, like, you know, we want to accept everybody, and we know that these labels and the people behind the scenes, they help put the creative ideas behind it.
Right.
So that video was all gay black men, which is 100% fine.
Yep.
And then it was the Jack Harlow, the white rapper, is the only straight guy in the video. And then what I felt like was a slap in the face, where he kind of made it a point of emphasis to say, oh, if Lil Nas X would have wanted me to get in the shower, I would have gotten in the shower. Like, what are we doing there? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So basically, my biggest point is, like, you know, if you ever wanted to be considered equal, we have to be able to. We have to be subjective to stuff. You know,
well,
you have to be able to say, if you don't like something, say it. That don't mean you hate the person.
Right.
Like, obviously, like, you know, T.I. said some stuff earlier, or the baby, whatever the case may be. That's harmful stuff. That is, like, you know, bashing another person for what they are.
Right.
But, like, you know, if I made the point of Drake earlier, put 100 naked women, like, you know, doing whatever the case, shaking their butt naked, no clothes on, I'm sure for the most part a lot of men would like it, but there would be some people that would come out and say, there's an issue with this isn't okay.
Right.
So what do we call that?
Right.
So that's the point I was making.
So now, on the other end of that group chat, which was booming today, I can't front. This is the first time I'm like, listen, I'll get that done by 2 o'clock today. I got to read up and chime in. Was my man, Professor Josh. And his stance was, I felt, from my end of the screen, you was taking offense to Dot's stance.
Nah, I wasn't.
And what say you?
I didn't take offense to anything Dot said.
Okay.
I took offense to what those tweets
says. Okay, yep.
Because I think that, this is just my opinion, I think that a lot of people have a problem with Lil Nas X because he is gay.
Okay.
Like, you know, there are, like, like me, like whenever we talk about Lil Nas X from the beginning, I'm like, yo, like I don't really care about like I don't care for his music. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit there and watch a Lil Nas X video. I like the song Old Town Road like everybody else.
Yep.
I like the song Panini like everybody
Oh, yeah,
else.
that was a good
you
one
know what
too,
I'm
yeah.
saying? But I'm just not gonna sit here and like. I mean, it's not my generation. It's not
Yep.
for me. But I do think that a lot of people do have a problem with him and his music and his videos because he is gay. I'm not saying Dot does. I'm also talking about like what I read and what I see, and I'm
Yeah.
like, damn. And even in some anecdotal conversation I have with people, a lot of it goes back to what he's doing to kids. Gay. You know what I'm saying? I don't have kids,
Yeah.
but it's like, yo, like, but if you look at the videos and images,
Yeah.
and like, you can talk about music videos, you can talk about movies, you can talk about video games, you can talk about anything that we've been like quote unquote indoctrinated with since we were young. It's all the same, and I don't see why. Like I did watch the video, and it's extreme.
What
But-
was your favorite part of the video? If you don't mind me
Oh
asking?
man, nah, I'm just joking. I think nah. I mean,
Nah, go ahead.
nah,
I'm
like
messing
yo,
with you.
like I'm like, dang, this is raunchy, but so is 90% of the other music videos out there.
Right.
And I mean, come on, man. I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, there's so many videos we watch with strippers just shaking ass, and they're just all up in them, like yo, I was like doing work at the Times. I wasn't trying to be on YouTube, but like yo, I love the Migos and Ty Dolla $ign. They did a video at Crazy Girls, and which is a huge strip club in Los Angeles. And that's all they're doing is just showing ass, shaking ass.
Right.
Not like, oh, I'm walking around in a bathing suit like I'm at the beach. I'm bent over, shaking my butt.
Right.
But there's like that's like saying so to equivalent. So my thing is,
Migos is a huge act, and so is Ty Dolla $ign.
I'm not. That's not what I'm about to say. But I
I'm
feel
just-
like
I
Josh
tried to
is
let that know.
every.
I tried to let you know
I
that.
feel like every point Josh makes
Yeah.
article. Twitter.
It's not an
I
article.
read some guy.
Nah, but
like,
what I'm
it's-
saying
can,
is
can
like,
I go, bro?
nah, hold on, nah, because
but
you
no, but like, I'm let you go. You go rebut.
misrepresenting
But
me.
it's like I read, I heard.
He's misrepresenting
I
me.
tweeted.
He's
I
misrepresenting
heard
me.
somebody. So it's like damn, bro. Do you have any personal experiences you could talk from? Like every
Yo,
Twitter can't tell.
I
everything
brought
in
up
the world.
I brought up a bunch of different videos, and you knocked down every single
But
one.
what I'm trying to
But
say is,
no, wait,
but what I'm
wait.
trying to say is,
You
what I'm
knocked
trying
down
to say
every
is,
single
there's
one.
never been a
You
video
knocked down every
where
single one.
we had to blur out a girl's top or a girl's
Yes,
private.
there is.
That
The
played on
Chronic-
mainstream TV.
The Chronic video where
Yo, I'm talking about in the social, but that's
But
not
I'm
what
saying,
I'm
you
saying.
say there's never been a video in
I'm
history.
talking about in the social media era,
Bro,
where
there's
you could
been-
play it
yo,
on Shade Room
how
100
many-
times.
how many videos
There's
have
people
you-
are gonna have an issue with that. If you have to blank out a woman's chest in her private, somebody's gonna.
They
That's never
ha-
gonna. People gonna say, "Oh, that's okay. Oh, wow, that looks
Nah.
good," and the whole
I
world's
don't-
gonna
I
accept it.
I
That's
disagree
not
with you.
true, man.
I disagree with you.
I'll say this
strongly.
I'll say this.
I brought up like a bunch of different videos. Oh, I
But
watched that
where,
one in high
though?
def. Yo, the Travis Scott and Drake video
are
is
they-
literally naked women
No,
shaking their ass.
Do you have to block out their breasts?
They
block
had
out
on
their private-
pasties.
Like what?
Like,
Like,
yo,
it's
they had on
crazy. Like it's
pasties.
crazy. Like
I'm like, yo, come on.
Yo, to bring up a point, like it's like I hate the
don't even
propaganda.
make sense.
Like yo, Lil Nas X, he came Old Town Road, certified banger. Everybody loved that
I think
song.
it went diamond. 10
Everybody
times
loved that
platinum.
song.
Yeah.
When he came out as being gay, the world loved him.
Right.
Where it went wrong is when he went to the satanic video,
Right, I remember
and
that.
then this recent. So I can't allow someone to say
I disagree with
I
that.
can't allow someone because he's gay. When
I
he came
disagree
out and
with
said he
that.
was gay, it was no issue.
I don't agree with that.
the
Agree
biggest.
on what?
I don't agree with that. He was just so overly embraced. I don't believe that. I don't believe that, and that's from my
I
experience.
don't think he
from what I've
was
seen.
hated. Like,
but he
where was-
wasn't. But he wasn't embraced by
What?
hip hop.
You had Nicki Minaj. Everybody was
Nicki
saying,
Minaj, come
like,
on,
and
bro.
He had
Like,
every,
that's a
he had
bad
all of the-
that's a
like
bad
he was
example.
the man when he
That's
came
a
out
bad
and said he was
example.
gay.
That's a bad example.
Listen, I'll say this.
Hold on, yo, was it young? Yo, it was either Young Dolph or Waka Flocka who commented
Young
on
Dolph.
Little Nas
Yeah,
X
Waka
and
Flocka's
said
been like-
They
and said
comment
that
on
hold on,
everything.
and
Yeah, he
said
does,
that
yeah.
yo, now I have to have my son stop listening to rap music.
But they say so many left
But
things
I-
and stuff that's not even gay.
All right. Let me
okay.
just chime in real
Okay,
quick.
Doc.
They do,
First
don't
of
they?
all,
Waka
no.
Flocka supports
No.
Trump openly.
I
he
know,
does.
but what
So,
I'm, yeah, but what I'm
now
saying-
it's because it fits
no,
your
but-
argument.
No, but what I'm, no,
the
but
gay thing
no,
matters when he
no,
says
but what I'm
everything else
saying.
crazy.
So So I'm saying what I seen.
Yeah, but like
And
don't say
talks about.
don't say he just said it because he says everything left. It's not just the Lil Nas thing that was left field.
I'm almost positive it was young. It was Young Dolph that said it. I'm almost
I'm
positive.
actually snapping this live.
Man, like,
This is-
come
this
on,
is-
the
he
stuff
mad.
happened.
Yeah, this
it's
is
not
mad. You
just
mad.
y'all just
You
like
mad.
personal
You mad.
experiences, man.
Yo, your
I'm
personal
live.
experience.
Recording right now.
You're one. You're
Hold
wait. Hold on,
Everything
wait.
you say.
Yo,
I tweeted,
you're one.
Sean
You're
Haggerty.
Yo, but what
Elliot,
makes
Elliot
yo, but what-
Wilson? Like you
You're just
gotta be
over-talking
like,
me.
and not
You're
for nothing,
over-talking
and not
me
for
again.
nothing,
He's
and not for
over-talking
nothing.
me.
Like he says, yo, this is something that's been indoctrined, and that was the biggest point that I was like, yo, did you just wake up today?
You know
like
what's the funny part?
I couldn't watch certain videos in front of my mom.
Yo,
She would say, turn that off.
Yo, what the funny part was is
Like-
that when I brought the DMX thing up, you got really mad.
I didn't get mad,
Yes,
but
you
I'm
did.
just
You said
I'm
I can't relate to you when literally
because I can't relate to somebody that's basing everything off of an article.
Hold
No,
on.
I.
I'm gonna chime in real quick.
Hold
I just
on,
gotta
wait.
post this
Listen,
real
right.
quick.
I bought DMX's album when it came out.
What does that mean?
And what I'm
But
saying to you is
but
that
yo,
the
I want
first
to know
line-
what you feel as a
and
person.
I'm telling you what I'm
I don't want
saying.
to know what
No.
Elliot feels. I want to know what Josh.
I don't want to know.
feels.
But what if I don't want to know what Dot
I
feels?
can't, man.
What makes your
I
personal
can't.
experience more than
No,
somebody
because
else?
you always telling me what
Nah,
Elliot says when
I
I'm
don't.
really trying to learn what Josh
what,
says.
Yeah, but what if I say like, yo, Dot, like
You-
your anecdotal evidence? I don't want to hear it.
But you don't tell me that.
I
Though.
don't
You
want to
tell-
hear
It
it.
never says what Josh
I don't
says.
want to hear
You always
it.
say, you always
I
say
don't
what
wanna hear
Elliot
it.
says.
I'm not saying what
I'd rather-
Elliot says.
What would you rather hear?
You send links to-
whether it's left or right. You rather it come from me because it means more, or Elliot telling
Maybe.
me.
So I'll
Maybe.
say this. I'll say this.
Why listen to anybody then?
I just
Why
wanna
listen to
chime
anybody
in.
then?
I just want to chime
Why
in
listen to
real
anybody
quick.
then?
I just want to chime in real quick. I'll
But don't
just
make
say
sense.
this. Me personally, I actually, it's weird. I actually enjoy the song. It's actually a fire song to me. But I'll say this. Lil Nas X got the same type of tweets and criticism like Cardi B did with WAP. Do you remember that? When those
when they were
two-
scissoring on the stage, yo.
Yeah, that and when the original video came out just about politicians coming out about, the
Well, I didn't
reference
hear
of
any
wet ass.
politicians talk about Lil Nas X.
No, remember? No, not
this.
yeah, for the Lil Nas X. So I'm just saying it comes with it. So I do want to get to a point where we would love and respect here on this podcast the LGBTQ community and everything that they do. And I am trying to say is I think Dot is fair in criticizing the music video just how everybody when the whole WAP situation. 'Cause I remember in the chat we was like, yo, these chicks is really, what do they call when you put the two?
I just said they were scissoring on
On
the Grammys.
On the Grammys, CBS national TV,
Yep.
part of the 4 channels. We talked about it. We got on them. So I think it's okay to do that. Yes, Josh, you're right. Some people, regardless if the music
lot of
video was
people.
a
But
lot,
that's
whatever.
How
I
is
don't
it
know.
a lot? Like you can't put. That's the
Yeah,
thing that
I'll just
frustrates
say-
me. You can't put you see 4 tweets and it
Mad.
becomes no. You
Mad.
see 4 tweets and it
Mad.
becomes the world.
Mad
You know what I'm
again.
saying?
Mad again.
His algorithm.
Yeah, the algorithm is the
Mad again.
world. Like,
Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
Yo, one of my friends who I'm not gonna say his name, I look up to because this is the anecdotal person I spoke to.
Okay.
And we're talking about Lil Nas X.
Yep.
And I'm like, yo, I don't have a problem with it. It's whatever. Like, I'm not listening to it. Like,
Yeah.
it's like out of my purview.
Right.
And he said, he went to the same tired thing about, oh, like it's demonic. He's gonna turn kids gay. I don't want
Nobody's
my kids
saying
listening.
that. Like,
I'm not
who's
being,
who's
I-
saying
But
that?
Dot, regardless if you're not hearing it, people do say that.
But they do. But that doesn't mean that's the world's view.
I didn't say it's the
Right,
world. I
right,
said a
right.
Like there's a
lot.
lot of
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Like,
A lot
what is
of people
lie?
do
Like
that.
what is a
There's
lie?
There's a lot of people.
Like
But
there's
then there's a lot of people that other way too.
Lie. Like,
Yeah,
like
you gotta
that's
go
just like
both ways.
But there's
that's
a
so
lot of
baseless.
But what I'm saying is that there's a lot of people who will like when we talk about like Meg Thee Stallion, we talk about like when we talked about her like album, we're like, it wasn't that good, and we more so talk about the music. The thing with Lil Nas X, and this is partly because he pushes it.
Yeah.
But like the first thing people go to is the gay thing. It's because like I get it. It's a shock to the system. He's the first openly gay male rapper.
Well, he's talking about being gay, so what are they supposed to talk about?
Because he is pushing it on
yeah,
us
but
for
what
us
I'm
to
saying is
discuss
that
it.
even the images are just a shock because we're not used to seeing an openly gay male.
So let me ask you this.
That's
So what are you
true.
supposed
That's
to?
true.
So what's the correct thing to say about the video to critique it so you don't come across as though
I think it was
you're
wrong
hating
to.
gay people?
I think it
So
was-
what should you say the
but-
right way?
But those 2 things that I sent in was not so much talking about like, hey, like, you know, this is bad because of, oh, it's just another raunchy video in a long line of
Okay, so those are two people. A lot of
but,
people. What should they say so they don't hate gay people?
I'm not saying what people should say, but I don't think that if you're gonna criticize them, and I'm not saying you, what I'm saying is that if you're gonna criticize them, don't lead with the gay thing.
Whoever led with the gay thing?
A lot of people.
They're saying raunchy. Raunchy don't mean
yeah,
gay.
because I like I said.
But you're assuming that they're taking the raunchy. This is what you're doing, Josh.
Yeah,
you're
assuming because somebody. You're assuming because somebody's saying raunchy is
no,
because they don't like the fact that
I just said
raunchy.
I just said he should. I said you should lead with raunchy.
But you're saying that people are you're assuming that
But
people are
they're
meaning
leading
gay.
with the-
Why? How do you know that?
both
though?
things that I sent in that got the conversation started was both heavily disrespecting gay people.
But that's two
Facts.
people, though. That's two.
With
two
with
people.
thousands and
And-
thousands and thousands and thousands of retweets.
So them two people tell the world.
Right,
No,
yeah.
but
It's
the
not the
world.
pulse. It's not the
But,
pulse.
but so who is the pulse? Who would you talk to that you think could give you a
So
pulse?
I'm asking,
but
Josh,
I think
don't
I
know.
get what Don is saying.
See, 1 second.
All right.
Josh has a crazy superpower that he can go on Twitter and he can know what somebody tweets and then retweets, and that predicts the temperature of the room.
No, it
so
don't.
I'm asking
No,
you,
I don't.
what should those people say?
What I'm saying is that what those two people said, and I'm gonna read it out. What they
They
said.
were wrong,
let
but
them
that's
know,
I'm
two
gonna read out.
people.
I'm gonna read out what they said
That's
because Doc. What was pissing me off is that you're acting like them two people are the only two people who think like that.
But there's two other people that think the opposite.
No, there's
Opposite.
not. No, there's not. No,
Like that don't make no
But
sense.
Josh, you think the opposite way.
I know, but
so
I-
you don't
yeah,
think
that's
you're part
one
of
person.
a lining of
That's
no,
one
what I'm
person.
saying is that
Does that make- you get what I'm trying to say?
People
But there are people that think
like
like you.
Right.
there's lots of people who don't.
That so.
Who
Both
lead-
ways,
So,
yeah.
so more people
So-
think like those two than think like you. That's what you're
I
saying.
think so. I think so.
But that's such a crazy assumption.
But Doc,
to make.
but yeah, it is a crazy.
it's not.
But this is his. Well, at least we're getting his actual opinion.
I
on
get it,
what
but
I'm
like
saying
that. But
is,
that's the part that,
Little
that's the part that frustrates
Lil
me.
Nas X isn't fighting for gay rights. He's marketing.
Josh is
He's
wrong.
marketing the sexual.
All right, so you wanna-
Let him finish. Let him
He
finish.
wants to read
You're
it.
all-
But the audience got to
See what I'm
hear
saying?
the original.
I never
tweet.
even heard of them dudes, dog.
Audience.
I never-
I want you to know that he's always talking over me.
I never
You're
heard
always
of them
talking
dudes
over me.
before.
Always talking over me.
All right, go ahead.
Tell their name first. Tell their name first.
Yeah, tell their name.
His name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. And
Do you know any background? Is he prominent?
yeah,
Is he?
he's super. Yeah, he
He's not-
used to have
he's
a-
super prominent. I mean, I don't
He used to have a show on BT.
Yo, Drew,
He
you
used to have
heard
a show
of
on
him,
BT.
man? Drew
used to-
never heard of him.
He used to have a show on BT. He had. Yo, listen.
never heard of
Little
him.
Nas X isn't fighting for gay rights. He's marketing the sexual irresponsibility that's causing young men to die from AIDS. Being gay is one thing, but being a super spreader is another. There's nothing healthy or helpful about that video, especially for children.
Yeah,
And
was-
his
that was
response
really
was, y'all be silent as hell when N-words dedicate their entire music catalog to rapping about sleeping with multiple women. But when I do something remotely sexual, I'm being sexually irresponsible and causing more men to die from AIDS. Y'all hate gay people and don't hide it.
So
in
what?
this situation, I do agree with him, and I do think a lot of people feel that way. So I understand why he's constantly harping on
First
it.
of all, I do love Lil Nas X's response to it. Secondly, well, all I am like, this is why I said I'm gonna keep it real for the camera. I said my thoughts align with Dot, but I understand the counterpart. I said that, right?
Yeah, I can't
and my
predict.
biggest thing is that I think that dude tweet was irresponsible, and I think what he tried to display as depicting his opinion of what Lil Nas X was doing, where Lil Nas X is just like, my music videos look like about the million music videos that been coming out. But I agree with Dot is just saying in the new social media age and world that if that was 100 women shaking their ass and blurred out, we have a right to say something and criticize it without it saying, but I agree that that's not the norm.
Yes.
And what Lil Nas is presenting is not the norm, and this is why it's gaining the traction.
And I get that.
So on and so forth.
I get that, but you can't go on Twitter and find Dr. Boyce just because he got a BET show and say because he said something irresponsible and
Right,
wrong
this is how
that speaks for the
everybody-
But
world.
I think a lot of people feel that way. That in my personal experience,
and
in
we have
my
to leave it at that's
hold on,
his
hold on, wait.
opinion.
Hold on, wait. In my
That doesn't
personal
make it
in
fact.
my personal experience, like when you get people and you talk to them and you know what I'm saying, and you have conversation with them. This is not Elliot Wilson. This is not Dr. Boyce Watkins. There's a lot of homophobia that still exists, and like no one's perfect. Like you know what I'm saying. We all have some opinions that I'm sure a lot of people would not agree with. But what I'm saying is that homophobia is still huge, and homophobia, unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, is gonna take a while to go away.
Yeah.
And the problem is that a lot of kids who are younger, like I noticed that a lot of younger kids are not. And I work with kids, been around kids a lot. They're not as asking.
This is beyond.
They're not. No, I'm saying, but they're not as concerned with people being gay or not.
This is beyond
I feel
me.
that way. I feel that way.
Yo, bro, you just
Zeem is
basically said that we live in the smallest state in the world, in the
Yeah.
country,
Yeah.
and you just said your interactions with kids speaks for every and your homophobia that
Yo,
you've
I have a
experienced here.
question.
It speaks
Why?
for the whole country.
Why, when I say, well, hey, here's someone with a large platform that thinks this way, oh, it's wrong. It's not your
I'm not
experience.
saying it's
I
wrong,
give you my
but I'm saying-
experience and it's wrong.
But I'm just saying, like, you can't-
Zeem,
you-
I'm on your
Double-edged
side
sword.
today. I feel you today.
But
You
see,
want it to be
see,
one way.
But see, I can't. No, but I'm saying,
Like,
I'm saying, like, yo, you're gonna take this dude's point of.
Right.
Take this dude's opinion,
Right.
whether it's right or wrong,
Right.
and you're gonna take your experiences that you've had with children in Rhode Island, and you're gonna say, oh, because based off of those two things or two
Right,
scenarios,
right.
that anybody that critiques it, you're assuming that they're only critiquing it now because it's gay.
Right.
That's not right.
Do you understand that, though?
No, I understand his
All right.
his point.
Yeah.
I fully understand it. I just don't agree with him.
Okay, and then all right.
I don't agree with him. It's presented so much. I mean, look at what the baby did at Rolling Loud. Like, yo.
But you don't have
all
the
you- all it-
context of that, man.
He
Like-
said, yo, he said people that don't have HIV and AIDS, all the dudes that wasn't giving head in the parking lot. Like, come on, bro. Like, what are you even saying?
So at the end of the day, so let me ask you this. So since you feel like based off of your experiences with children and Dr. Boyce
And people in
and
general.
people that you know that because
And
homophobia is never gonna end, racism's never gonna end. So tell me, how do we properly critique Lil Nas X without coming across that we hate? Since you can tell
that's
me,
a fair question.
Since you can tell me how everybody's
I've been
thinking.
saying
How-
it.
how do you
I've been
critique
saying
him
it.
properly?
Don't
What you
lead
just
with
say?
him. How many times?
How did you lead with him being gay? How?
Did you not read that?
I'm saying, besides from him, how can
But
anyone
I'm
else
saying,
do it?
so when you critique him, and this is just me, this is my thoughts, my own personal experience.
That's what I wanted.
All I'm saying is like, yo, all I'm saying is that I think that you don't lead with him being gay
But
and
how
trying
do
to
you,
indoctrinate
who
children.
besides Dr. Boyce, who
a
led with him
lot
being,
of
who?
criticism
What did they
from-
say?
Bro, you like Doc.
What
you
did
know
they
what?
say? I need
One day
clues.
I'm gonna come by your house.
No,
and
tell
we-
me
and we
here.
gonna sit
The
there, and I'ma
cameras
show
is
you-
rolling.
and
Tell
I'm gonna
me
show
what
you
this-
100 different things.
But I can say you
of
100 different people
criticizing.
supported him. You
I'm
can
saying
take-
that I think a lot of the criticism that Lil Nas X gets is like if like, so I watched the video, I'm like, whoa, like this is like, you know, wow, this is a lot. You know what I'm saying? but what I'm saying is that I'm not gonna like, if I have a criticism of something that Lil Nas X is doing, I'm gonna make it a point to not lead with something that's negative towards him that has to do with something gay. Like I'm trying to say like what you were trying to say about him being raunchy. Like raunchy doesn't mean that it's negative towards him being gay or straight or a woman. You know what I'm saying? It's you're expressing something that's like, yo, like this video is wild. Like even
It's
if
sexualized.
yeah, it's
and,
sexualized.
Yeah, but I feel like besides those journalists, I feel like who really
There's a lot of people.
I'll say this. First of all, Lil Nas X is, to me, a marketing genius.
Yeah.
He advertised this. He welcomes this. He engaged in these dialogues. Like the reason why those two tweets that you sent is because he seeked them out and responded to them and wanted it to be out there. Does that make sense?
He does. If you watch his social media or if you watch like anything, he makes little comments like, you know, kind of promoting the game, which is fine. And
even with the whole Jack Harlow thing with his comments, and we could have done that. All right, we're gonna do a performance butt naked. Like he does this for the shock value, the clickbait. So he is welcoming
what's the
this.
light skinned cat's name from Love and Hip Hop? He was friends with Trina.
Her
Lake.
cousin, Bobby Lake.
They
Bobby
were
Lake.
doing a segment on Hollywood Unlocked every few weeks where he was trying to flirt with Bobby. Say he wants to. Nobody said turn
Right.
that off.
Right.
Like
And
it's not
then-
that they. It's just the video was wild.
So my thing with Lil Nas X is he's a calculated genius. I view him the same way I view 6ix9ine is he's monetizing off of this these
When's
conversations.
that 6ix9ine podcast dropping?
Oh, I
Oh,
can't
him
wait
and-
for
him
that.
and
And
Wack?
Wack, yeah, I can't wait for that one. That's gonna be a killer one. I seen Wack on No Jumper.
That
And he
was a good.
spitting.
That was a good podcast.
one.
That was a good one.
And I came from. I even have no issue because he talked about my man Meek. I had no issue with that. I still have, and everything he said about 6ix9ine is what I've been telling you guys for the longest. What I got killed for, in regards to. Once he takes his cape off, he's really Daniel Hernandez. But anyway, back on the topic.
I think that's everybody, but okay.
Yeah, but Lil Nas X. I just feel that what he's doing is purposeful, it's meaning behind it, and there's money generated behind it. And I want to say there's forces behind it that is pushing that to the forefront, that regardless, he is in a win-win situation. Because you're going to have some like you that's going to be, not some like you. I mean this in a respectful way because, Some people think like me. Right.
Some
and
people
then
think
some
like
that's
me.
going to think like you, and regardless, is going to generate wealth for him. So shout out to Lil Nas X. I think it's a great conversation. And Doc, like I said, I agree with you. And Jiggy, I think I agree with you. And it's people that's right there in the middle. At the end of the day, offline, our new A&R director made some
Gave
great
good
points.
insight. Good insight. Good
Gave
insight.
some good insight in regards to, as parents, we are, these are not our mainstream MTV, BET Uncut, MTV2, whatever. You actually have to go seek these videos. So for everyone that's saying, oh, I don't want my child, well, then that's you on as a parent to make those parental controls that they do not see these things, that these videos are not even made for. So we always have to keep that in mind. At the end of the day, I do want to go back. Jack Harlow killed that verse. Like, I don't know why I just.
You love Jack
I
Harlow.
really,
man.
it's just, he really.
Now I'm back on Dot's side. Now I'm back on
Yeah, you love Jack Harlow, man.
Here's another one. But you hate on John Stockton. How could you? How could you? How could you?
But like I said, I think.
Hold
I
on,
think-
wait.
what's up?
Before I forget this, when you have some free time, I'm gonna send you a video of John Stockton torturing the 1988 Lakers to he had 24 and 23 in a playoff game.
24 and 23 in the playoff.
Oh, let's
All right.
revisit this. Where's
Send
Chris
me the
Paul
link.
at? Is he still top 5?
Oh no, my bad. I didn't mean to get
He's
us
still
there.
top 5?
Nah, I can't lie, Chris Paul,
He's in
man.
the top 10
Yeah,
still, or no?
he's top 8 now.
So
you
we
know.
saying the best point guard of all time is Magic.
Magic.
Then Curry.
Curry,
Isaiah. Oscar. Then who we putting number 5?
Asta, number 5. I gotta go with the back-to-back MVP Steve Nash.
Steve Nash.
I
Then I'm
got
going-
J Kidd
then
before
I'm-
Nash.
I don't mind that. J Kidd, Steve Nash, alternate. Then I have to go Gary Payton. Then I gotta go Chris Paul.
Okay.
And that's my top 8.
That's valid.
You know what I mean? Because he really dropped the ball. He had a great opportunity, but it is what it is.
Up
you know what I'm saying?
2-0, he did it
Yeah,
again.
he
Whole
did it
West
again.
got
Did
injured.
it again.
Whole West got injured.
Yeah,
Up 2-0, Chris
everything
Paul
was
did it
set up
again.
for him, and it was just
Everybody,
it was
yo,
unfortunate.
the media was really rooting for him. I feel
Yeah,
like.
because it's a feel-good story. They had to get some type of
36
storyline.
years old, get a
But
ring.
he was
Right.
middle class. He didn't come from struggle, Zeem.
Did he come from struggle?
No, he didn't come from struggle.
No, I don't know his background story. I
He's a
never
middle
got
class
into it
guy.
like that, man. But listen, another great episode. Josh, can we shout out plug real quick our sponsor one more time before we get out of here?
Seppi
Forbes.
Sips, Joe Forbes, aka Spider, West End legend, Hooper. Now he's coaching, man. Shout out to him. Doing
Absolutely.
great things in the community and great things in this community. Providing
Absolutely.
us with these amazing drinks, man.
Absolutely, we killed that. Actually,
Yeah.
got me.
Yeah,
that got me
because we
nice
was really
this
arguing.
episode.
We never get
Yeah.
that excited.
And then once again,
I seen
man,
my man Dot neck sweating. I said, "Oh shit!" I said, "We really doing it."
And shout out to the plug, supporting us, giving to that. Make sure you follow them, support all their content. Shout out to Go DJ. Shout out to our guests in the building. LA, well, he's really EP owned. We own him, but he's LA now. He showed me a good time in LA.
Drewski.
I'll always, he made me meet my favorite rapper. I'll never forget that. You know what I mean? You seen my groupie experience. He was there. He see, I
You
ain't
should have
no
kicked him out
shame.
as soon as he did that.
There's no shame in my game. And it's funny because I actually had Emily B take that picture of me and Fab. So,
Emily B was with Fab.
yeah, that day, yeah.
Did she have her dentures in or not?
Oh, God. We got to go. This guy, man. All right, man. Appreciate it. Hey, make sure you follow, click, subscribe, Spotify, YouTube. We out, baby.